And we are live. Hello, I am Jack. I am one of the many leaders here at Holdfast, and I am so happy to be with you guys. Hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining. Hey, how's it going? We're just gonna get started here with Holdfast. What's up? How's it going, Riley? What's up, Lindsay? How's it going? You guys keeping it busy? Let me see if I can go live with Riley real quick. 1 second. What's up? Hello, Alyssa. Hello, Rachel.
That's embarrassing.
What's up?
Hello.
Where you at?
I'm at the beach.
Which beach?
Schoolhouse.
Is that
It's like that's? I
okay?
think it's called Schoolhouse.
What are you doing there? You surfing? Just hanging out?
No, I came in the afternoon and then I went to In-N-Out and now I'm back.
Nice. That's always fun.
Yeah, it's a good time. The water feels great.
What's the temperature of the water? Is it like super cold or is it pretty moderate?
It's pretty moderate. Like it feels nice when you go and it's not like freezing.
Nice. Are you boogie boarding or?
No, just getting crushed by waves. You know.
Nice. That's
Hi,
always.
students of On Mission memes. Glad you're here.
Memes. I absolutely adore the memes, man.
They're so good.
They are. They're super spot on to what we were doing at Whole Fest.
It just makes my day.
Absolutely. Nice. Because you're going into your senior year now, correct?
Yeah.
Are we in summer, or are we still finishing up the last couple weeks of school year?
Technically the school year ends on June 11th, but since it was online, I just got ahead because I was done with it, and so I'm kind of in summer. But
Nice.
yeah.
Nice. That's hence you were celebrating at the beach.
Yep. Feels a little bit like summer.
All right. Well, it was great seeing you. I'm gonna see if
You
I can
too.
get on the line.
Cool. Okay. See ya.
Bye. All right. Let's see if I can get Peter to join us. Going live with Peter. What's up, David? All right. It's waiting for Peter to connect. It's connecting with Peter. What's up, Peter?
What's good, dog?
How's it going, man?
It's chilling, dude. I had a construction job today.
Nice.
It was kind of shitty. Yeah, I work for a contractor, dude.
Okay.
So
what were you doing?
I was so today it's a whole house remodel, right? So there's nothing but concrete in the house. So the bathrooms are done, but they have no toilets. The kitchen's done, but it doesn't have it only has cabinets. So today I was going.
Or were you actually putting up cabinets and stuff?
Well, Monday I didn't work from yesterday, but Monday I had to bring in 1,600 square feet of laminate flooring and take a bunch of cardboard down and put it in the truck and then take it to the dump. And then today it was more like vacuuming the sawdust out of the cabinets and all that kind of fun stuff, scrubbing the extra grout off the tile. And it's yeah, it was more chill today, but it was still bruh.
Still heavy labor. It's crazy that Jesus was a carpenter before he was doing ministry. So he basically was doing the similar stuff that you're doing right now. That's still that heavy labor. What's up, Matt?
Yeah, dude, it's really cool. He's paying me $12 an hour, which is chill. So
I'm guessing.
Yeah, but Monday he bought me Jersey Mike's, and today I had to buy my own self lunch. I'm like, oh man, but dude, after Monday, I was like, this guy's working me way too hard to be paying me $12 an hour. But after today, it's I was asking him a lot of questions, so I didn't have to do the job he wanted. Yeah. No, I'm bad. So
is this here in Ventura or is this out in Pennsylvania?
It's in Oxnard. It's this house in Oxnard. So yeah, there's no floor. It's all concrete, and I was gonna do the floor today, but might do that tomorrow.
But you were doing questions instead.
Yeah, dude, I had to. It was a bunch of scrubbing stuff, sweeping the garage, the sawdust out of the garage, and breaking down styrofoam and all that. It's chilling.
That's always fun. How'd you get into the shop? Is this a family friend that you know that you needed help?
So this guy, he was my aunt's neighbor, and so everybody in my family had worked for this dude, right? Except for me. And so I worked for him for the first time Monday. And so my brothers worked for him, all my cousins worked for him, like my brother's friend, my cousin's friends have all worked for him. It's like they all have their different perception of Greg. His name's Greg, and he's like this 58-year-old dude. And yeah, he's kind of interesting, man. He's an interesting dude. Like he'll make you do things that you don't expect. Like after I brought in the laminate, the 1,600 square feet of laminate the other day, he was like, "Oh, dude, the house is only 1,400 square feet. You brought in 1,600 square feet. That's my ball. Like, can you put the other like 10 back in the box?" I'm like, "Dude, come on, man." So it was okay, but I was getting paid for it. It was all chilling. Like it's his problem.
Well,
But yeah.
sounds like you're having a really good fun time. It was great talking with Peter. I'm gonna see if I can go live with Rich in a sec.
All right, cool beans.
Flip back. Let's see if I can flip the camera. There we go. All right, let's see if I can go live with Rich. Let's hope Rich isn't working too hard and then can take some time to talk with us. What's up, Rich?
How you guys?
How's it going, man?
Good. I was just playing with the texting. What's up, players?
How's it with you? Were you able to get out and enjoy this very warm day?
I went for 2 walks with the dog. It was nice.
Nice.
Beautiful day. And I worked a lot. A lot. So how about you? You been out?
Yeah, dude. It is beyond humid at my house right now. And so I like you, took my dog on like 3 walks today.
Yeah.
Just trying to get out of the house as much as humanly possible just to stay active, stay well, get in this beautiful sun that God has created, man.
Yeah.
Gorgeous of a day.
So fun and hot, except for if you're up in the hills close to the fire.
There's a fire in Ventura right now again?
Yeah, I'm not sure how close it was. I don't know if anybody has details on it. I'm like going crazy here, huh?
Probably.
Yeah, it's there's a fire towards Santa Paula up in the hills, but
Jeez.
you know,
But definitely time for that.
yeah. And the Ventura Middle School is having their graduation or their promotion, drive-through promotion baccalaureate tonight. So Lane's up there.
That's gonna be nice. I
doubt it.
Doing that today.
Yeah. What?
I forgot that they were doing the promotion today.
Yeah.
Like I remember being in 8th grade. That was many years ago. But like being in 8th grade and like walking across and then having my friends cry afterwards. Like I never understood because like half of them we were still going to the same high school, and the half of us were just going to Ventura, which is like literally just down the street.
Oh yeah.
Like we all still live in Ventura. We might not be seeing each other every day like we were before, but it's always a good start.
Maybe your friends were crying, Jack, because they just didn't think they'd ever quite get there to graduate from high school.
True.
I'm just teasing.
All right. Well, it was
mood.
Rich.
Yeah.
Let's see if we go live with another student.
You bet. Bye-bye.
All right. Let's see if we can go live with Rachel. It's saying waiting, and it's thinking about it. Let's see. What's up, Rachel?
Hello.
How's it going?
It's really hot.
That it is. It's a very warm, humid day today. What did you do today to beat the heat?
I took a nap. It was really good.
Nice.
I worked on an essay.
Okay. So you still working on school?
What?
Still working on school?
Well, it's my last thing. Like, we're working on a college essay for my AP Lang class.
Oh, okay.
So, just working on that. And then that's how I did take the nap, because I fell asleep as I was writing it. So.
It was such an awesome paper. It just killed all the brain power.
Yeah. And it's about me, so I don't know why.
I feel like writing papers about yourself are so much harder than writing papers about, like, a subject, because then you can research. Like, I feel like more of, like, personal papers, you have to think more inwardly, which causes more head stress.
Yeah.
So is this your official last class before summer starts for you, or?
Yeah, so school ends tomorrow. Well, it would, but a lot of us haven't really been doing work. I'm like, I've been doing just the stuff like, because I mean, the only classes I really have work for are AP classes, like the rest is all done.
Yeah.
So, I mean, after that, I'm done.
Officially,
It doesn't really feel like much because it's not like I have a lot going on, but it'll be nice just to, I don't know, it'll be nice, I guess.
either fact that you have to finish the certain things. Do you have any fun plans for summer, even though there is the looming COVID still? Besides
I
friends.
don't have plans anymore. Those are all canceled, but I'm still gonna make fun as I go.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was great talking with you. I'm gonna see
Nice talking to you.
Someone else as well. Oh, camera's going dark. This technology is confusing. All right. Let's see if we can go live with Anna. Waiting for Anna's connection. Just thinking about it. Oh. What's up, fam?
Hey, how are you?
Doing well, and yourself?
I'm doing good. I'm just doing some dishes right now. Wrapping it up.
Fresh boiled leaves or something?
You know me. Actually, I had pasta. I made Alfredo sauce.
But there's no. I thought Alfredo's like 100% dairy.
It does. So I made it. I'll give you a little recipe really quick.
Right.
I made it out of. I doubled the recipe, so I made a lot for like the whole week. But like a whole onion, like a lot of garlic because I love garlic, and then nutritional yeast because it kind of gives it like a cheesy flavor.
Yeah.
And then I boiled a bunch of cashews so they were super soft, and I like put them all together in a food processor. And like I know it sounds like weird and gross, but it actually tastes really good.
Do you ever think of cauliflower? Because I know like a lot of people use.
Cauliflower is super good. I've never tried to make sauce with it, but I do put frozen cauliflower in my smoothies, and you can't taste it, but it makes it really creamy.
It's such a weird thing that like people have come up with these ideas of like of substitutes like cauliflower. Like it to me, cauliflower looks like a zombie broccoli. Like it makes no sense. It shouldn't be consumed by anyone, but so many people eat it and love it.
I make like buffalo cauliflower wings.
I can't wait.
They're so good.
Oh, they taste the same. They don't.
Okay.
They don't.
I would understand, but like you know how like Jacob, he's a big meat eater. I don't know. He just likes chicken wings like any normal person would. Well, he likes my buffalo cauliflower wings, unless he's been lying to me. But
well, see, like the question is, does he eat bone in or bone out? Does he eat nuggets with sauce on them, or does he actually eat chicken wings?
I think he does a little bit of both. I don't know. He's not picky when it comes to that.
Yeah, see, for me, like chicken wings, like when people get bone out chicken wings, I'm like, you're not even eating wings anymore, man. You're just eating chicken nuggets with sauce on them. Like, it's so like for me, like if you're gonna make a cauliflower vegan version of chicken wings, you got to put like a fake bone in that cauliflower. Something like for me to like grip on. Like give me like fake flats, fake like drumsticks.
That makes sense. I could try that. I make it so you can taste the cauliflower as little as possible. So I like coat it really thick in like the batter, which is just like flour and milk and whatever. And then I coat that.
You say flour and milk?
Well, almond milk. Sorry.
That's not milk though.
I'm gonna clarify everything.
I was like, oh, you're girl.
No, yeah, okay, so I make my batter and I like coat it really thick and then I coat it in breadcrumbs so it's like nice and crisp. And then I bake that for a little while and then I put on buffalo sauce, like really spicy buffalo sauce, because I like when my mouth burns.
Gotta fry it. Gotta get the crispiness on it.
I bake it.
Like I understand, like because it's more healthy to bake. But dude, when you can,
I'll try. I have an air fryer. Would that work?
Yeah, I heard air. I've never used an air fryer personally. I swear by grease. I swear by oil.
It's good. Yeah.
And so literally, I've heard people say great things about air fryers, but it nothing compares to the crispiness that true oil will get on those wings, man.
That's true. That's super true.
You got try it next time. Use grapeseed oil. Grapeseed oil has
Okay.
a boiling point, and so it's gonna crisp those boys up. Hecka golden. I
I
don't.
like how we just got on a food tangent.
I'm always talking about food. I feel like, but dude, I don't know about cauliflower, but I know with chicken they sink when they're not cooked all the way, and they float to the top, and then that's where you get the golden when it's that mixed with that oxygen, dude.
You know what you're talking about.
Oh yeah.
That sounds good.
When I worked as a grill cook, for a month and a half there, we served wings with Frank's hot sauce.
Ooh, that's what I use. I use Frank's red sauce.
Yes.
And I mix it with like some plant-based butter, clarify it. Plant-based butter, and like I melt that and I put like some more spices in. But it's like such a good, like, not like spicy, like lingering, like mouth burning spicy, but it's like it just has like the good amount of kick. You
That's top, yes. That
Mhm.
right out, absolutely, 100%. All right. Well, it was great talking to you about food and wings and things in your case.
Great talking about food. I love it. Anytime.
Great to hear.
Later.
All right, guys. Now that we're done talking about wings, it's time to talk about Jesus. We are in the book of Mark. We, as a youth group, we are reading through the book of Mark together. You can jump on that. It's through the Bible app. It's a reading plan that we're doing together. We're doing a chapter a day. And a chapter is not like a regular book chapter where it's multiple pages. Usually a chapter is about 1 page max. And today we are looking at Mark 2. Now, jumping into Mark 2, where the main focus of it is what Jesus says about himself. In chapter 2, there's 4 different major parts of the story. The first part of the story is the healing of the paralyzed man. So everyone grab their Bibles, flip to Mark. It is the second. I had to go in my head. It's the second book of the gospel, which is towards the middle endish. In my Bible, it's right here towards the end. Once everyone gets there, we'll start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm assuming everyone's there because there's no interaction. This is such a weird medium to teach on. But starting in chapter 2, the first story we look at is the paralyzed man. In this story, Jesus comes back to Capernaum. And during this time, everyone finds out that he's back and that he has already performed miracles. And so everyone's flooding his house and asking Jesus for a miracle. And these 4 guys show up with their buddy who's paralyzed. And they can't get in because the door is absolutely bombarded with people. And so they climb on the roof, tear a hole in the roof, and lower their buddy down before Jesus. And Jesus looks at them, and he sees their faith, and it says, "My child, your sins are forgiven." And the Pharisees, who are also the religious leaders of the time, hear this and say to themselves, "This is blasphemy. Only God can forgive." And Jesus, being God, hears them and says to them, starting in verse 8, "Why do you question this in your heart? Is it easier to say to the paralyzed man, 'Your sin is forgiven,' or stand up, pick up your mat, and walk? So I prove to you the Son of Man has the authority on earth to forgive sins." And then Jesus turned to the paralyzed man and said, "Stand up, pick up your mat, and go home." The man jumped up, grabbed his mat, and walked through the stunned onlookers. They were all amazed and praised God, exclaiming, "We have never seen anything like this before." Absolutely mind-blowing. So the second story, though, is just as gnarly. It says, then, like literally, like Jesus doesn't wait. It's like, then Jesus is at the lakeshore. Like he was at his house, now he's not. Now he's at the lakeshore. Everything happens extremely fast in the Gospel of Mark. And this is the story about Jesus dining with sinners and tax collectors. And so Jesus is teaching, and he sees this dude named Levi, who's a tax collector. He's like, "Hey, come follow me." And he's like, "All right." And so Levi picks up and follows Jesus. And Jesus goes back to Levi's house, and he's eating with sinners and tax collectors. And the Pharisees see this, and they ask Jesus' disciples, in verse 16, why does he eat with such scum? I'm reading from the NLT, and it translates to scum. In the direct translation, it says sinners and tax collectors. But I like that, the imagery, scum, that the level of like that depravity that they look at these people. And Jesus responds by saying, healthy people do not need a doctor, sick people do. I have come to call not those who think they are righteous, but those who know they are sinners. So in this, Jesus is claiming to be the caller of the sinners. He's calling the sinners to himself. And then immediately after, once again, like Jesus just somehow transports to a different location. Now him and his disciples are somewhere else. And once again, it says in 18, once when John's disciples and the Pharisees were fasting, some of the people came to Jesus and asked him, why don't your disciples fast like John's disciples and the Pharisees do? So at this time, the Pharisees fasted twice a week, and they were fasting for the coming of the Messiah. And then Jesus' response is, in verse 19, do wedding guests fast while celebrating with the groom? Of course not. They cannot fast while the groom is with them. But someday the groom will be taken away from them, and then they will fast. Besides, who would patch old clothing with new clothing? For the new clothing would shrink and rip away from the old clothing, leaving an even larger tear than before. And no one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the wine will burst the wineskins, and the wine and the skins will both be lost. New wine calls for new skins. And so what Jesus is really saying here is that they don't need to fast for the Messiah because the Messiah is here. He is claiming to be the Messiah here. He's claiming to be the perfect sacrifice. And the fact that he says that they will fast when the groom will be taken away from them, they will fast. It is tradition in the Jewish culture that when someone dies, they fast and mourn. Jesus is predicting his own death here, predicting that he's going to be the perfect sacrifice. And one could argue that even farther by saying that him talking about the new garment and it being attached to old clothing. The new garment is imagery for the new covenant. And the new covenant, it has to be put into new wineskin. They can't bring old traditions and habits into the new covenant. So who is Jesus claiming to be in this story? The perfect sacrifice. Now on to the fourth story. It is in the discussion of a controversy about the Sabbath. We see Jesus and his disciples walking through a grain field. And it's a Sabbath, so it's Saturday and it's holy, and they're not supposed to be harvesting. But the disciples are picking off the heads of wheat and are eating them. And so the religious leaders say, you are breaking the law. Like, how dare you? And then Jesus' response is so powerful. In verse 25, he says, have you ever read the scripture, what David did when he and his companions were hungry? He went into the house of God during the days of Abiathar, was a high priest, giving it historical context, because they were super into that type of stuff, and broke the law by eating sacred loaves of bread, and only the priests were allowed to eat. He also gave some to his companions. And then Jesus said to them, the Sabbath was made to meet the needs of the people, and not the people meet the requirements of the Sabbath. So the Son of Man is Lord even over the Sabbath. What Jesus is doing here is saying that the king had the power to go into the temple and eat. Ever more so does the creator of the Lord, Son of God over the universe, has the power over the Sabbath. That these laws were not created for humanity, but God being king over humanity is over the Sabbath. So who is Jesus claiming to be? The Messiah, the King, God. This is an absolute statement of divinity by Jesus Christ. And the religious leaders at the time would have completely understood it to be that way. So in conclusion, who is Jesus saying he is in this passage? Well, Jesus, the Son of Man, is saying he's the forgiver of sins, the caller of sinners, the perfect sacrifice for sinners, and God. He also gives himself the title Son of Man. This term is used in Daniel 7:13-14. It is to describe an exalted messianic figure, i.e., the Messiah. And Jesus, by calling himself the Messiah, calling himself the Son of Man, he is defining himself as the Messiah under his own terms. Because the religious leaders at the time, they had their own understanding of what the Messiah was supposed to look like, what the Messiah was supposed to do, and who the Messiah was supposed to be. But Jesus wasn't that what they wanted. They wanted a strong militant leader, but yet Jesus was the perfect sacrifice, the suffering Messiah that we know and we needed. Now, thinking about Jesus here in the 21st century in America, many people have heard of Jesus, and many people have their own idea of who Jesus is. Many people say that Jesus is just a teacher. He was just a prophet. He was a great upstanding guy that we should emulate but not worship. But we as Christians know that Jesus Christ is the Son of God and God in the flesh. And so as we go into our Zoom chat after this, I want us to discuss who is Jesus in our own words. For if we do not properly know and understand how to articulate who Jesus is to non-believers, then we are failing at our jobs to share the good news, the Great Commission at the end of Matthew, where it says to go out and make disciples of all nations. So, what's up? Sorry, I saw hello at the bottom. So, as we finish up here, I would love you to get off here and go on to the Zoom call that we have. The link is in the bio. We are going to have an amazing discussion with Dustin and the leaders, and I will be there as well. And we're going to really flush out and talk about who is Jesus to you, who is Jesus to the world, and how do we articulate who Jesus is. All right. Thanks so much, and see you guys on the Zoom call.